I'm delighted to speak in support of the bill. I thank all the committee and the Minister for their hard work in getting it to this point. My constituents in Redditch and the public across the country expect the law of the land to protect the law-abiding majority, and there's nothing as infuriating or frustrating to them when perpetrators of crime receive more attention and support than our citizens who are the victims of crime. And that's why I welcome this bill. Before making my comments, I want to put on record my thanks to the exceptional work of the criminal justice agencies in my Redditch constituency, particularly Inspector Richfield and his team of officers, Police and Crime Commissioner John Campion, and the support services such as the Sandy Cross Centre and a head of wellbeing in my constituency who work tirelessly to support victims of crime. Mr Deputy Speaker, in the interest of time, I will just speak about a couple of measures that are of particular interest. I had the privilege of serving as a Minister in the Home Office and the Ministry of Justice, and some of the legislation in front of us today had its early genesis in the end-to-end rape review. And I will never lose my strong commitment to serving and speaking up for victims of some of these most hideous crimes in our society: rape, domestic abuse, sexual assault and child sexual abuse. These crimes have no place in our society. And that's why, in relation to this, the treatment of victims of rape and serious sexual offences, I want to welcome particularly the measures around disclosure of third-party materials, which was added to the bill during committee stage. I'm really pleased that these measures go further than existing protections, and they enable victims to trust that those working to bring perpetrators to justice will do so without violating those important therapy room conversations. And I would welcome clarity from the Minister when he winds up, when he expects these measures to be rolled out and adopted by all police forces and CPS areas across the country. It is, of course, in our interest that victims are supported throughout their journey through the criminal justice system. And we know from countless testimonies that victims will not come forward to report crime if they think the process is burdensome or traumatic. I pay tribute to the many, many victims who've bravely spoken out about their own experiences, and that is what motivates all of us to continue to help them and bring further measures to protect them as they go through the system. Mr Deputy Speaker, one group of victims, which I'm sorry to say often gets overlooked, is victims of driving crime. I've spoken before about my friend and colleague, Councillor Lucy Harrison, who now leads the Road Peace campaign to strengthen the law around driving crime. Will the Minister meet with me in the future to discuss the Road Peace Remain and Report campaign so that more people who lose their lives on the roads can get justice that they deserve? I particularly welcome, Mr Deputy Speaker, the measures in this bill to better protect the public against top-tier criminals such as murderers and rapists, and I know this will come as welcome news to victims of these crimes and their families. I previously raised from these benches the issue of Robert Brown, the monster Robert Brown, I should say, who hit his wife Joanna Simpson over the head at least 15 times with a hammer. He was due to be released from prison. That was a terrifying prospect for his family, and I'm really pleased the government is using the powers it introduced to instead refer his case to the parole board where it can be rightfully assessed, and in the future I know the Justice Secretary will be able to do this in more instances. I want to just quickly touch on, before I close, the issue of victims of antisocial behaviour. I think there is potential to strengthen the support services for victims of antisocial behaviour. It is a devastating crime. It is not a victimless crime. And I know that people in Redditch do find it very traumatic when they experience these sorts of crimes. Even at this late stage, can the Minister assure me that the Victims Code and the measures will continue to protect people who are victims of antisocial behaviour? A final word, if I may, on stalking, Mr Deputy Speaker. It is an incredibly dangerous crime. It's often linked to the most violent homicides of women at the hands of men. And I note in the debate that the committee did look at the role of stalking protection orders and specialist support for stalking cases. I really hope that the Minister can assure us that he is doing everything in his power to make sure that victims of stalking receive the support they need. So I finish by welcoming the measures in this bill and just sending the message that it's absolutely vitally important that we continue to crack down on these types of crimes and keep the public safe. Thank you.